As multimedia entertainment skyrockets in popularity, more film companies than ever are uniting with computer developers to create movies and interactive games together. Celebrating with fanfare worthy of the hit film itself, Disney and Virgin Interactive Entertainment have just released the Lion King video game. It's the first time a movie-based video game has been released while the film is still playing in the theaters.
In the past, it's always been the movie's been released and maybe a year later you start working on interactive games. In this particular case, I think the production paths were almost parallel. So we were trying to create sequences from the film, and they were saying, well, we don't know yet. We're starting right in the middle of it as well.
This game was very challenging because we really wanted to meet the quality standard and the naturalistic standard of the film, the style of the movie, the style of the backgrounds, the story that's in the film. We wanted to try to get in the video game.
The game developers were also inspired by the film, especially the main character, Simba, the lion cub.
One of the first things we realized was that we could use the story of the movie in the video game directly, because this was a hero's journey, and it's all about Simba's trials and tribulations through a variety of environments. We have voices from James Earl Jones, Jeremy Irons, Cheech Marin, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas. So there's a great correlation between seeing the movie and playing the game.
The characters in the game were all drawn by Walt Disney feature animation artists in Orlando, Florida.
We do the animation the same way we would do a feature animated film, which is one drawing at a time for each of the characters. It's all hand-drawn. It's all done by animators and animation teams. Everybody brings a lot of different ideas, and everything is wide open.
Animating a four-legged animal is challenging, especially an interactive character who must respond instantly to a variety of commands.
The cat, if he jumps in midair, wouldn't all of a sudden jump and turn the other way. He'd have some actions where he turns around. Physics would carry him a certain way. So we have to make these things appear to happen instantly and still apply the same sort of naturalistic feel that the film has.
The young Simba has the fluffy paws that they're consistently flopping around. He's happy-go-lucky and playful. So I try to incorporate that attitude into the game. As he ages, he moves slower. You have this 400-pound animal now, so you have to consider the weight. We try to watch animal gestures and try to incorporate that into our drawings, and yet put a little bit of herself into the drawing too.
After Disney perfects each frame of moving animation, the drawings are sent to Westwood Studios, where their artists scan them into computers, then colorize and size them to the game's dimensions.
The environments that you see are actually a very technical and very creative process. A computer background artist uses small squares or blocks of patterns to create the images you see on the video game. The individual squares are put together in hundreds of different combinations to build the natural-looking world you see Simba in.
Of course, what ties all the animation together is Simba's story.
There are 10 unique levels in the game, and they're designed to explore Simba's maturation from cub to adult. You start off with Simba sort of bouncing around as a little cub, but that's just where the fun begins, because then you get to play an adult lion. As an adult lion, he's a very formidable creature.
There are two bonus rounds in this game, one where you play Timon and one where you play Pumbaa. In the film, there's a great sequence where they're eating bugs, and it's sort of gross, but it's sort of funny. So we really try to focus the bonus rounds in the game on Timon and Pumbaa eating bugs.
It's very fast-paced. There's different characters to play, different experiences, new levels, new graphics, and every time you play the game, you'll find something different. In the elephant graveyard level of the game, there's a skull that is right out of the movie. So kids will say, wow, look at that. I'm not just watching a game, I'm playing the movie.
We're excited about the Stampede because it's told from a totally different perspective. Young Simba is running directly at the camera with the wildebeest behind them. Ow! It gives the player a chance to become Simba.
Both feature films and Westwood worked really hard to give each of the enemies a lot of character. The hyenas especially can jump and snarl and snap and do just a million different things, and it's all very, very beautifully articulated through the Disney animation. It ends in this climatic battle at the top of Pride Rock with the Pride Lands burning below, lightning striking from above. All the while there's Scar trying desperately to defeat him and retain control over the Pride Lands.
The process we've gone through the Lion King game is really the same as any production. Because you're trying to do something unique and it's never been done before and you can't draw from anybody's experience. It's creative chaos, but the final result is for every part of that process, there are bits of magic that are dripping down, and it's our jobs to sort of catch all that stuff and collect it to make sure that none of it's lost and it's always there to be built on and preserved. And ultimately, that's what makes a difference on that final project.
There you see, he throws bugs down.
Also, there's a little bit of overhead that's very subtle.
The process we've gone through the Lion King game is really the same as any production. You know, you have there's a point in production where I think it becomes so hectic, and everybody is really trying to solve so many problems because you're trying to do something unique and it's never been done before, and you can't draw from anybody's experience. And there's a point in time when you just think there's no way it's going to come together, and then in the final months, all of a sudden, all the work you've done really comes together. Everybody gels. Everybody just starts to see exactly what you've created and creating something anew, and you look at it and you say, boy, it really has a life to its own. The real distinction between Disney characters is that they are created as devices for storytelling. And by doing that, they have distinct personalities. And within a story, they have a whole range of personalities, so they complement each other as well as contrast each other. And so there's a great deal of thought and work in the development of the personality of each character in there. And then what our job was in this particular game was to make sure that those personalities were built on but maintained. The process we go through is just really two parts of the team, really. There's the programming and game design, which these people are experts in that field, and ourselves, which are filmmakers and animators. And we had to sort of synthesize what we all know as being the correct way to do things and sort of meet halfway. It's creative chaos is what it is, but the final result is that for every part of that process, there are bits of magic that are dripping down, and it's our jobs to sort of catch all that stuff and collect it to make sure that none of it's lost, and it's always there to be built on and preserved, and ultimately that's what makes a difference on a final project.
What's exciting about working on a video game is that it gives the player a chance to become Simba, to see the character on a big screen in a film, but play him in the environment that's very much like the film in the game, and to act out sort of Simba's role in the film just like it is in the video game. The story that's in the film, we wanted to try to get in the video game, that Simba goes on a journey and learns responsibility and has to overcome obstacles and surpass them in order to meet his goal of winning back Pride Rock. All those things that are in the film, we wanted to try to get in the video game. In the beginning of the video game, you play a young cub, Simba, and he is really exploring this world of the South African pridelands, and he's trying to survive among the other animals that are there. And then later in the game, in the latter levels, you play adult Simba, and you're now really taking control, aggressively moving through the game to finally confront Scar and win the game. To make this character as interactive as he needs to be able to respond very quickly and to really feel like he's thinking. And what's difficult about that is you want that instantaneous response, but a cat, if he jumps in midair, wouldn't all of a sudden jump and turn the other way. He'd have some actions where he turns around. Physics would carry him a certain way. So we have to make these things appear to happen instantly and still apply the same sort of naturalistic feel that the film has. There are also two characters in the film, Timon and Pumbaa, that we tried to incorporate in the game as the bonus rounds and really try to introduce a lot of humor from Timon and Pumbaa. In the film, there's a great sequence where they're eating bugs, and that's their diet. And it's sort of gross, but it's sort of funny. So we really try to focus the bonus rounds in the game on Timon and Pumbaa eating bugs.
try to watch animal gestures and try to incorporate that into our drawings, keep it as naturalistic as, so people can read it. This is the way an animal would actually do this, and yet put a little bit of herself into the drawing too. Well, I think the biggest challenge in drawing a four-legged character is just trying to deal with which paw is going to affect the one behind his back legs, as opposed to if his right paw is touching, how's that going to affect his left back foot or something. So it's, especially in a run, when you're trying to make this guy run, which feet are hitting, which is it 3 legs at a time or 4 legs, and so that created the biggest challenge, just trying to think of which foot is to keep the character balanced. The young Simba has the fluffy paws that they're consistently flopping around. As an adult, he moves slower, and so you have to think you have this 400-pound animal now that's moving around, as opposed to this little cub. So you have to consider the weight now.
To actually be able to use Disney's animators' work in the game, we had to somehow take those drawings that exist on paper that would normally be shot from a camera and put them into the video game. Now, the way we did that is through a process called the Digicel process, which we first used in Aladdin. So basically, the drawings are captured through a scanning device and put into the computer. They're then sent to us electronically through the phone lines, and the people on our end, our animators, color the individual frames and use custom software to shrink the drawings down so that they can be the right size and the right color for video games. There are 10 unique levels in the game, and they're specifically designed to explore Simba's maturation from cub to adult. So the first 6 levels of the game are all about learning to be Simba and this young, agile lion cub. The last 4 levels are all about learning how to fight and use the power that's inherent in an adult lion to regain control of his throne. Disney supplied to us samples from the movie of many famous actors that played and worked in Lion King. We have voices from James Earl Jones, Jeremy Irons, Cheech Marin, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It's really great because the video game is actually the same clips from the movie, so there's a great correlation between seeing the movie and playing the game.
One of the things that I like about the game is that it's always different. It's very fast-paced. There's different characters to play, different experiences, new levels, new graphics, and every time you play the game, you'll find something different. One of the things that we do is we look at the movie and find what kinds of things really stand out. In the elephant graveyard level of the game, there's a skull that is right out of the movie, and if you've watched the movie, you'll notice right away this is just the same thing. So kids will say, wow, look at that, I'm not just watching a game, I'm playing the movie.